bang. 3, 2, 1.
Bang.
Here we go. Here we go. Guys, what is going on out there today? Brent Abel Jr. here. Jeffrey Jacklich over there.
Over there.
What's up,
over
JJ?
There. Well, we're starting a trend here in the Napa Valley. We've had 3 days, 4 days of the sun coming up in the morning and beautiful weather. So
you mean that old saying of, hey, look, don't worry about it because the sun's going to come up tomorrow. You've been sort of doubting that for most of the winter.
Yeah, pretty much. And I hate to get cocky, but I got a feeling that maybe we've turned the corner on the storm door.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Coming in. So anyway, it's beautiful.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm here in Moraga, Northern California, as we record this. I'm going to be here for a couple more days, and I don't know what all the big talk about with a lousy winter. This is pretty darn good stuff. So anyway, enough of the weather report. By the way, the Weather Report, one of the all-time great bands, musical jazz bands. I don't know if you know them. You maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, man, the Weather Report. Incredible, innovative guys. And I know that'll ring true with some of our senior players out there. One of the all-time great groups. Anyway, guys, here's what we're doing is we're still offering, Jeff and I are still offering the complimentary private 10-minute coaching call where the three of us get in the phone, and all we ask you bring that one thing in your game right now that maybe you haven't quite figured out, and that we want to help put you on the path to getting the result that you want. The way to get on that call, again, is free. It's private. Go over to goldballhunting.com, first name, email address. Click that button, and then you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler. That's a mouthful right there. Where you can pick the best date and time that works for you. This is all about you, man. All about you.
About you.
We're just here to serve. We are here to serve.
That's it.
Anyway, and actually when you do that, what'll happen is you get onto our email list, and when you do that, you also get another video that Jeff and I recorded a few months ago about how to really build confidence in your game, which we talk about as trying to reduce your skill level range, which no one else but Gold Ball Hunting talks about. And it's an interesting concept. So, Jeff, what I want to talk to you today about is something that we were yakking about the other day. And we were talking about fitness, and I can't remember exactly how or what you said that kind of brought it up to me, but within the last couple of years, there was some podcast or something I was listening to where it was about the British rowing Olympic team.
Right.
And they had been woeful for not years, but decades. They'd been terrible. And so they hired this coach. And again, I don't remember where I heard this or the coach's name or anything like this, but I do remember the tagline. And that was the coach came in and he was pretty much trying to convince them, fellas, all we're going to do here is they're really going to try to improve on the classic cliche 1% a day. We're not going to try to go from 0 to hero by next Thursday. We're going to try to work on a percent a day. But he says that when you leave the training and you go home at night, and where in the past some of you Brits would, you train hard, that was cool during the day, but at night, you had to go down with the fellows at the pub and maybe, maybe down a few. And so he says, you're on your own, you're men, you're responsible, but I want you to ask yourself this question. And again, this is about the men's crew team. He said, ask yourself this question when you're about to make a choice of doing that or maybe staying home. Will this make the boat go faster?
I love that.
Which I thought was just, God, it's just so pure. It's so pure. And so, you're thinking about, if I go out and have like 3 or 4, pints tonight, will that make the boat go faster tomorrow? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. So here's the question. So what it got me thinking about is not so much us, the rest of us senior players, because we're not I mean, look, we're not professional players out there where we should really be squeaky clean in terms of if this is
Right.
a business playing on the pro tour. I mean, shouldn't we, if our pro tour life, career expectancy is maybe 8, 9, 10 years, shouldn't we maximize that time and see if we can make the boat go faster for those 10 years?
Right.
But since we're not doing that, I think the way I want you to sort of talk about this is not so much in our diet and health and all that stuff, but more in the way that we practice. And that's assuming that, number one, you guys do go out there and put in a little bit of practice time.
Right.
I think there are some things that we do that we overdo that won't make the boat go faster. And there are some minimalist things that we could be doing that we just don't do. Maybe they're habits. But anyway, Jeffrey, what do you think will make the boat go faster in terms of practice habits?
Oh,
Sorry.
boy.
Your day was going so well.
So well.
It was just, it was organized. I see what I'm doing this morning.
That's right.
A little bit of lunch, and then this afternoon.
Yeah. Got a little coaching this afternoon with some gold ballers. It's going to be great. So what will make the boat go faster? Right? In the infamous words of Roy Scheider in Jaws, we need a bigger boat, right?
Well, that's true. Yes.
I tell you what, I think, we've been kind of dabbling different angles on this subject, really about, the kind of work you do, everybody does personally. What are you doing to improve? How do I improve? How do I get better? Are you spending too much time on stroke technique and not time enough learning how to play the game? Learning to understand what works, what doesn't.
What does that mean? We hear that cliche all the time. Is that guy is a great driller, but he doesn't really know how to quote unquote play the game. What does that mean?
Yeah, that means that shot selection and playing is really just this random execution, ball to ball. A lot of times it ends up being the player ends up just being a border collie or an Australian shepherd running around, very active, very intense, and very on it, but just being reactive to everything that's going on. It doesn't mean they don't hit good balls. It doesn't mean that they don't win either. But it's just this random active. And so once you kind of figure out your formula against a player like that, you can really kind of just waltz right through them. Because they're not figuring anything out. They're not actually engaged in it.
And I think that's it. We just said they're not figuring anything out. To me, it's like players that don't know how to play the game are not using their experiences, their match experiences, where they win or where they lose, whatever the result is, they're not learning. They're not learning about where we hear sometimes on TV, well, we got a new kid on the block who's just coming up and he's just qualified for the tournament. And he's got to play some guy who's a journeyman guy who's maybe always ranked in the top 50, but he's been in the tour.
Right.
I think of someone like Philip Kohlschreiber, who has been in the tour forever.
Right.
He's not a top 25 guy, but he's lurking always within the top 50.
Right.
And yet what they all say is, well, Kohlschreiber's got experience, meaning that he knows how to play the game.
Right.
As opposed
he knows his skill set.
Yes.
He knows how to use his toolbox. He knows his opponents, and he knows how to formulate strategies, and he knows how to compete for sure.
Yeah.
With all the match play, and being on the tour for so long, that's not foreign to him. So all those things put together makes you a competitor and somebody who's dangerous in a tournament. All
right, so go back to my original thing. I'm sorry for kind of taking down off a different tangent here, but what practice things are we doing that's really slowing the boat?
Right.
And
well, I think one is, the word practice. Let's just dissect that for a second. So everybody has a team practice. most of the time, and again, this is a general sweeping statement, so don't get all nutty on me out there, people. Um, Most of the time, practice is made up of you show up at the courts. We got 8 showed up or 12 showed up, whatever, and we're going to play for the next 2 hours. So you play. Well, it is a form of practice, but if you think you're improving something, you're sorely mistaken. You're getting in some set play, which is great, but you're playing against all the same guys. You know how to beat the guys across the net from you, so you do that because you're going to service your ego tonight. And make sure you beat Ralph again. So you waste a lot of time. Let's just say servicing your ego in those kind of situations, rather than actually delving into improving what's going on. Maybe you have a team clinic, and again, a lot of activity, but. Is what you're doing active, but is it actually applicable, and does it actually hold water when you play based on your skill set? So that's my criticism of that framework of how we use the word practice. And so are you actually practicing? Meaning, have you done a self checklist? What's your actual skill set? What are you actually good at? What are you not good at? Running down that list and then finding those things that actually will move the meter. So one thing, and this is general across the board again, one thing that could immediately improve your game is go out there and hit 30 serves 3 times a week. And don't just hit it in the box, but start to get specific. Learn how to place your serve. That's probably one of the easiest things, no matter whether you have a classic serve or you hold the racket like a frying pan. I don't care how you hold it. I don't care about the technical side of it, though. Everybody can learn to place their serve better. And if you can do that, you will see a marked difference in your ability to hold serve, and whether it's singles or doubles, and you will actually then start to pay attention to where do I need to get the serve to actually start the point with an advantage.
Well, in that, when you serve and you are confident with your serve because as you just suggested, as you practice placement, forget technique. Whatever you have to do to get a huge percentage, especially if we're talking about doubles. Well, it doesn't really matter, singles or doubles, but if you can get a high percentage of your first serves into the target that you want to play it to, your confidence now to start the point is at a good spot.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to build the point from a place of good confidence. When you start missing a high percentage of first serves, there's the little 5 seconds between missing and then having to start the second serve where you start kind of hoping, oh boy, I sure hope I don't double fault. I sure hope I don't put this in the guy's wheelhouse. And the next thing you know is your confidence for the point is not here. It's starting down here. That's not what we want.
Right.
So
yeah. So anyway, I think that's like just an immediate, that can be a jump in how the results turn out. And I think a great thing that would be great for teams to do, even without charting the whole match, just have somebody chart how many first serves everybody made.
Yeah, right.
And just get a grip on that, because there's always the guy that, wants to hit the big hammer, and he makes 5 out of 20. Maybe.
Okay, that's pretty generous.
I'm being generous, So what a waste.
Yeah. Well, look.
Just a huge,
No, and look, and if you've got a buddy who's going out there and doing Jeff's drill, which is 30 serves 3 times a week, volunteer to say, I'll shag those 30 balls for you so we maximize the time, but let me return serve, because
absolutely.
If you can return a high percentage of those 30 serves to a specific target.
Yes.
To a specific target, not just sort of back in the court and see how hard you can hit the ball. See how consistent you can be to a specific target. If it's singles, have a target. If it's doubles, have a certain target. And now what you're doing
And
is
serve. And if you're the server in the doubles side of it, serve from your doubles position.
absolutely.
And pick your target on the return, and don't get nutty with the target. The target isn't a 1 square foot block next to the line. I mean, get real.
Hold on. Let me see if I can see that.
Sorry.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. Don't pick this little dot on the map.
Right.
That has one. If you hit it, oh my God, it's going to be a glorious thing. But there's no you've got to, again, margin is the key here in all of this. So whether you're serving, returning, serve to the same spot. Great to have a returner over there and have him practice his backhand return.
Yeah. And
right?
you guys don't need to play out the point.
No,
two
balls.
One thing I like is when I'm practicing a serve to a target and I've got someone over there returning, knowing that we're not going to play the point out. What it does for me is that, like, if there's no one over there, like, I take a nanosecond longer to stay into the hit and come out of the finish position, right? As soon as you put a human being over there, it's all of a sudden like, okay, I got to get ready. But if there's no, if you guys aren't playing the point, then you can practice knowing there's a guy over there. How long can I stay in this to really complete? How long can I stay up here on top? And so those are two ways, Jeff. I agree that will definitely make the boat go faster. Yeah. I think another way that will make the boat go slower is this mindless cross-court drilling forever and ever and ever, which, is just not, we don't play points. We don't have points that last more than 4 or 5 shots per rally. Yeah. And again, we're not talking about you hitting 4 or 5 shots. That would actually that'd be 8, 9, or 10 for the total. Right. We're talking about a total of 5+. So practice those first two, and that will definitely make the first two being the serve and the return. Without a doubt. And the boat's going to go a lot faster.
Boat's going to go faster.
And who knows, at the end of the league season, at the end of the tournament, you might have the Olympic gold medal. And, crying because your country's song is being, your anthem is being played. So,
And I'm going to throw this here I'm going to throw this on top of the pile here too, just for fun. And that is, be mindful of the, let's say, standard cliche tennis chatter in the improvement process. There's lots of stuff that gets thrown out there, and we kind of hook into it because it's a fun conversation. It's a da-da-da. You got a fellow teammate who just heard this watching a match, and gosh, it was great. It was this tip I heard, and da-da-da. And I think those are really they can be helpful, but I think as a kind of regular diet, I think they end up you end up rabbit trailing down stuff that you know ultimately you don't have the skill set, the fitness, the whole thing to So I hate to be negative, but I've listened to it enough. I've been in this deal for a long time, and I watched the results from that kind of conversation. And how toxic it can be in everybody's game, just this constant trying to strive for these things that are just not within reach. Yeah. And you got to look at things that are tangible. What can I do to make the boat go faster? I can go hit 30 serves today with the technique that I have and try to hit those 30 serves into the backhand corner on the ad side. Go do that. And call it good.
That's right. Good. Good.
That's, so anyway, there you go. There's my rant.
No, I love it. That's great. That's great. Well, listen, guys, hope you got something from today's episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, just a quick reminder, free 10-minute coaching call. It's private. The three of us, you, me, and Jeff, we get in the phone, and you kind of cough up that one thing that you got to get figured out in your game. And Jeff and I will help you on the path of getting the result that you want. Go to goldballhunting.com, put in the first name, email address, click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler. Plus, you'll get a private video that Jeff and I recorded a few months ago about how to build foundational confidence into your game. Jeffrey, with that said, we're going to sign off, and the mic is all yours.
Woohoo! Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Outstanding, guys. Get out there today, wherever you are. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Make the boat go faster.
Yes.
Jeff will do this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.